Hey everybody, it's so good to be back with you all again today. I'm going to be taking you guys along with me for a few days in my life as I vlog, kind of a behind the scenes of what it's like to be a part-time dog walker, a small business owner, and we'll see what else we get into throughout the week. I know I'm going to be going out thrifting and antiquing with my mom later, and I do have some work that I need to finish up before the upcoming markets later this month. So let's get into the vlog and I'll see you guys soon. So of course we gotta start out the week with another breakfast burrito. I've been dreaming about it since the last time I had it, and this time I wanted to kind of show you guys what it looks like inside of La Gula. So this is the building. It's in this really enormous shopping center that's got like every store that you can possibly need. And this is the restaurant, and I'm about to go pick up my food. Yummy in my tummy. So I went to go walk this elderly pup. I believe the owner said that he was 17 years old. So his walk was literally like under 5 minutes. Like he went around this little circle and basically that was it. He refused to walk anymore, and he was just so old and weak. So this is the next day. It was absolutely gorgeous. I'm back home, so I'm taking care of my doggy now, and this is literally like my absolute favorite tree behind my building. I love it so much. Every time I pass it, especially when the flowers are in bloom, I just have the urge to kind of like climb it. Like, you see how humongous it is. Like, can you just imagine me in there like a little monkey with a book, just like chilling. And it was so nice out, and the wind was blowing, and you can hear people's like chimes and stuff, but unfortunately they were cutting the grass and doing landscaping, so that was so loud, so kind of ruined the vlog a little bit. So hopefully you are enjoying the music instead. So it's now Wednesday, and we went out on this day, just went out for a walk, which was nice because my partner had been sick for several days, and I was also on my cycle, so I was not feeling well. So we went out to this area where we live and walked around. We took some photos that I posted on my Instagram, and yeah, I wasn't really doing too much. I ended up just going home and resting. I'm reading this book right now, and once I'm finished, I'll let you guys know if I recommend it. So I didn't vlog on Thursday, but here we are now. It is Friday, and I was feeling good, and I ended up going out antiquing and thrifting with my mom in this area called Frederick out in Maryland, and we stopped by one of my favorite little cafes, which is called 1111 Cafe, and the food is always delicious. They have like a rotating, very small menu, but the food is always on point. And I had never sat out back, but my mom and I like discovered this little outdoor patio section of the restaurant. So we were just like having a blast there and taking photos and enjoying the weather, so that was great. After lunch, my mom and I went across the street to this antique shop. I come here all the time. Every time I'm in Frederick and I go to that cafe, I always make sure that I go into this antique warehouse. It's like a 2-level antique warehouse. So it's huge and they have so many great things. I've taken so many of my friends and loved ones here. It's just like has such a special place in my heart. So I love stopping by. So as you can see, this warehouse has a whole bunch of different rooms, and each room has different vendors with all of the antique, mostly furniture and household items. There are some rooms that have vintage clothing, but it's mostly household stuff. My mom was looking for like things for her garden, and I'm always on the lookout for very unique and awesome vintage clothing, but neither of us really found anything. But if you're looking for any of those things, then this is a good place to check out. My heart still aches to this day when I saw a beautiful like pistachio cabinet hutch situation about a year ago that was perfect for like my herbal apothecary, and I did not buy it. So yeah, if you want it and it's like calling your name, then get it, because it's gonna be gone, because they have some really great stuff and it does not last. So after that antique shop, we ended up walking down the street and went down to another antique warehouse, and it was also absolutely humongous. It was kind of like never ending, honestly. Like I was like, when are we gonna get out of here? I feel like I'm in a maze right now. But it was absolutely huge. They had a lot of beautiful things, so it was fun to look through things, but I was kind of like over it after a while. I did end up finding like a couple rooms that had some vintage clothing, so that was kind of fun to go through. So this was one of my favorite rooms. It had some really good vintage. I was absolutely in love with this like purple floral vintage corset situation. I'm not really sure what you would call this, but it did not fit, unfortunately. I was so sad, but I loved it so much, and if it had fit, I definitely would have taken it home. But they had some other cute things here. So eventually we did come out for air, thank goodness, and we were just walking around the town, looking at the different shops and stuff, and just enjoying the weather, enjoying each other's company. So that was very nice. Eventually we stumbled upon this Treaty General store, and I was absolutely in love. They had such beautiful things. It was kind of like a boutique with boutique clothing and a lot of like different knickknacks. They had homeware, household things like incense and candles, clothing, jewelry, a bunch of like cute stuff. There was like postcards and different kinds of knickknacks that you can go through, and everything was just so beautifully packaged, and it was very aesthetically pleasing to be in that store. And we definitely liked a lot of things, but we didn't end up grabbing anything. Afterwards, we went into this thrift shop that I had been into before in the past with one of my friends, and it was just as amazing as I remembered it. It had a lot of like beautiful household goods. They also sold real plants, and they were like known for their disco ball decor. They had like plant pots that were disco balls, and then hanging disco balls and all kinds of colors and shapes, so that was cool. And they had a lot of things that were organized by colors, so it was very pleasing to the eye for me to be in there. And they had a lot of cute stuff. Eventually I made a beeline for the back because I remember that they had vintage clothing, and at this point I was done window shopping, and I was not happy to have seen extremely high prices at the antique shop, so I was ready for some more reasonable thrift shop prices. So this whole back room was filled with vintage galore. It was absolutely amazing. They had so many different pieces. All of the racks were kind of separated by items of clothing as well as gender, and they had all kinds of clothing from different decades, which I absolutely loved seeing. On this specific day, I was kind of on the lookout for the usual. I like to carry and wear very bold prints and patterns as well as color. I like to have very unique clothing in my market as well as in my own personal style. and I was also on the lookout for some perfect vests to sell, as well as for my own collection. I personally like the ones that have like the cinching in the back so that you can custom it to your specific body type. I think those are more flattering. And while I did see a few good vests, I didn't really love any of them, and they didn't really have the perfect fit that I was looking for me to justify the pricing. So after we finished in that shop, we stopped by one more place. I didn't end up filming in there because it didn't seem like the type of place that you would film in, to say the least. But I did find some good things. I found this kind of lingerie, like pistachio colored silk slip, and I also found this like lingerie house coat in this like baby pink color with like embroidered flowers at the top, and as well as these bright red slip-on sandals that were very comfortable. So I did end up scoring there. I was thinking about selling the slip dress and house coat, but once I tried it on at home, that was not gonna happen. So it's definitely going to be staying in my collection for sure. But if you are in the DMV area, I highly recommend you guys coming out here to Frederick. There's so much to do. There's a lot of like land. There's a bunch of traditional stores that you can go to if you like that kind of like traditional shopping scene. And then there's a lot of like, there's nearby outlets and thrift shops, and then it's also known for its antique thrifting community as well. So definitely recommend this area. So once I got home, I washed my vintage pieces and I put on the beautiful slip dress and house coat, and I got the last bag of vintage clothing that I had left in my closet that still needed to be marked and tagged up for my upcoming vendor markets. I have one that is in 1 week, and then I have another one that's going to be in 2 weeks. So I wanted to get everything done. I still need to get pictures taken and stuff for my Depop, so hopefully I get to do that soon. But now that everything is officially marked up, that should definitely happen soon. So we have finally made it to Saturday, the last day of the vlog. As you can see, it is quite early in the morning. It's about 6:30 a.m. right now. I had a dog sitting job that I had to get to, so I was up quite early and promptly ready at 6:30 here in the lobby that you can see is dead. There's like nobody there. But this is where I'm going to be for the rest of the weekend and just taking care of this pup. He was absolutely so sweet, just hanging out, doing his thing, and I wanted to get him out a few times today before the rain started up because he said, well, not he, his owner said that he does not do well in the rain and he will refuse to go out. And yeah, same. So we just went around for a nice little walk in the neighborhood and checking out some of the trees and stuff. He was just having a great old time. We were taking a nice long leisurely walk and just enjoying ourselves. Before heading back, I did place a pickup order for a nice little ham and cheese croissant and a rose latte from a nearby coffee shop. It is called Barking Mad. It is one of my favorite and go-to coffee shops. This whole neighborhood is literally, like, not even kidding, 4 minutes from my house, so I had to be up early, but I had a very short drive, thank goodness, and I was able to go back to sleep. But at this point, it's like, 9 or 10, so I was definitely ready for some delicious coffee, and it was so good. It was such a beautiful day, even though the rain was supposed to start any minute, but I was just enjoying the weather, and as you can see, like, this whole little town center is just so cute. So highly recommend coming out here to this area and definitely going to Barking Mad for some of their delicious coffee. It is a full restaurant and bar as well, so they do serve other meals. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and watching this vlog. Hope you guys enjoyed everything. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.